Hello, how are you? Oh, good. Yes, I'm very well, thank you for asking. My name's Robert Lane. I'm a musician and a guitar tutor based in the UK. And in this video today, we're going to be looking at part 3, or the bridge, of Blackbird by the Beatles. Now, before we get into it, could I ask you please to subscribe to my channel, share the videos, like, comment on them, because doing all of that just helps more people to find the videos in the future. And I'd be very grateful to you for doing that. Now, I've got 2 videos on this song already, part 1 and part 2, the intro and the verse. So you'll probably want to watch those first before this, because they explain what's happening with the right hand for this idea, and they also talk about the intro and the verse. Okay, so watch those first if you haven't seen them. This video is going to be focusing on the middle, or the bridge. So it's part 3. Okay, now if you've watched the other bits and you can play the other bits, this isn't going to be too challenging because it's basically based around this chord shape that turns up all the way through the piece. We have gap and no gap. Okay, if you don't know what I mean, watch the other videos. First of all, we have gap. That's fret 8 with this finger, first finger, on the A string, fret 10 on the B string. I'm using my little finger, you might prefer to use your third finger, whichever. And we're going to hit and strum there. It's not a whole bar, it's just the one hit. Sorry. Then we're going to move down to the first finger on 7 and the other one on 8. So that's no gap. So we've gone gap, no gap, no gap again. So we've got 5 and 6. Gap on 3 and 5, and then gap on 1 and 3, but we sit there for a bar. So we have, and then back to 3 and 5 for another bar. And when we do the bar, remember that's when we've got the together, down, up, thumb, up, strum. Which again, I'll talk about in the videos. So we've got this. Repeats, but is different at the end. Okay, that one we do it's exactly the same, so all to here, but instead of going back to 3 and 5 here, we're going to go open on the A string, 2 on the B string for a bar, open on the D string, 1 on the B string, and then 1 hit on 3 on the low E string, open B string, and then we use that to get back to for another verse. Okay, so here is the whole bridge. Alright, try that, play along with it. It's quite an interesting song in a way, a bit weird in the structure of it, and I think it's because Paul just recorded it himself, guitar and voice, in a live take, so the sort of structure of it is a bit weird, and he does play it differently on different occasions if he's performing it live. So choose whether you're wanting to do the original White Album version or a live version, or better yet, your own interpretation of it. But those are the bits there. And then I've talked in the videos about how I believe Paul actually did it and recorded it using his thumb and his first finger to do the strums. But I'm aware that when I'm doing it, I tend to use 2 fingers. So I pick first of all with my third finger and then strum with my first finger. I think, or do different things at different times. And you can do that too. You've got to decide how strict you want to be with yourself in copying what he does. Okay, that's it. Let me know in the comments if that was useful and what else you'd like me to cover in future videos. You can find me and hear my music at robertlanemusic.co.uk and all over social media as Robert Lane Music. And I've also got a podcast called the Robert Lane Creative Careers Podcast that I think you'd find interesting, where I speak to various creative people about how they make their work and how they make a living in the arts. I speak to loads of musicians, songwriters, actors, casting agents, writers, all sorts of people. So I think you'd find that interesting. You can find that on your favourite podcast provider or on my website, robertlanemusic.co.uk. Stay in touch, ask any questions that you've got, and until next time, see ya.